Hello everyone. I've decided to go live, just a little bit off the cuff really. I just decided to do a video of basically how I'm actually feeling at the moment in regards to Liverpool's future, and I've got to say I don't think that I've seen a better Liverpool than there is right now. In my whole 37 years of being alive, I don't think I've seen a better Liverpool. I'll just wait for a few to join first. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to spend about 20 minutes on a video with you, just literally going through a lot of things. All right, Craig. So basically, what I'm going to speak about right now is the club in general. So Liverpool and also as living in the Anfield area, the feeling amongst the place at the moment is absolutely the best. I mean, I moved to Anfield 4 years ago, but I moved literally to the heart of Anfield, literally outside the stadium in January last year. And bear in mind, we've had a pandemic through them months, so it's just literally the first time. But I've got to tell you what it's like at the moment. The talk is so positive. The ground is going to be getting built, so the Annie Road end will take us up to 61,000, right? So you've got this new super complex training ground, the AXA training ground, right? Now, I've now just put on the grid that FSG have spent 220 million on bricks and mortar. But this Anfield, right? Anfield development takes us to another level. 61,000. Can you imagine? I was at the AC Milan game a couple of weeks back. Can you imagine the atmosphere of Anfield at 61,000? It's going to be out of this world. It makes us now have a bigger stadium than Tottenham, a bigger stadium than Arsenal. I think it makes us have the second biggest stadium now in the league above Man City. I mean, but the difference is between Man City and ourselves is we'll fill it. We could sell Anfield out sometimes twice over. And I was looking at the crowds in the Capital Cup, the Carabao Cup, Tuesday and Wednesday, and you had Arsenal that had 50,000, and you had Manchester United that had 71,000. Liverpool are capable of filling 61,000 in a heartbeat. I hope FSG tweak the ticket prices with the fact they've then got 6,000 extra seats or 7,000 extra seats. So that would be nice if they can bring it down to around about 48 to 50 quid max. That would be fantastic. But I just want to mention something. Nobody can see into the future, right? But guess what I see in the future? I see my decision to back FSG being the absolute right one. And I'll tell you why. Everybody looks at what FSG have spent in regards to, you know, they haven't gone and spent 100 million on a Jack Grealish, or they haven't gone and done this, or 50, 60, 70 million. I'd love to see me sitting here, which I will do in 10 years' time, and I would love to see the amount of money FSG have made us in terms of squad value, right? When you consider that they signed Harvey Elliott for maximum of 5 million quid based on what he does in his future, right? How much money do you think Harvey Elliott is worth? Right, so instead of them buying players that are going to be buying players that are 50, 60, 70 million already, they're buying players like Harvey Elliott that literally now, I think if someone wanted to buy Harvey Elliott now, you'd be looking at around 90 to 100 million, because he's only 18 and because he's absolutely unbelievable. There's not many around like him in the world. Then we go to this, Kane Gordon. If Jurgen Klopp, let's not forget how good Harvey Elliott is. If Jurgen Klopp is saying Kane Gordon is the best player he's ever seen for that age, wow. We got him for 1 million or 2 million. It might be 2 million now because he's just played his first senior game. 2 million. So they've got Harvey Elliott for 5 million, Kane Gordon for 2 million. How much will Kane Gordon be worth in 10 years' time? How many times will he play for Liverpool in 10 years' time? Then the talk coming out of Newcastle is this Ben Clark is better than Gaza. He's better than Gascoigne was at the age that he is. He's 16, and Klopp has come out today and said that he is unbelievable. So if you're looking at the fact FSG have brought in Harvey Elliott, Ben Clark, Kane Gordon, the Polish kid who's supposed to be out of this world, they brought him in, right? They brought in, I reckon there might be 10 world beater gems coming through, right, that have all been signed by FSG. And what is wrong with their module? What is wrong with the fact that they aren't getting the best talent in the world early, rather than paying 60, 70, 80, 90 million for them 5 years later, 6, 7 years later? I think this is world-class management, from Klopp to Pep Linders to Michael Edwards to FSG. They must sit around the table and go, we're doing it this way. And I put up something earlier, and it is mind-blowing. It's basically them saying that their module and plan for this summer was to reinvest in what they already have. So signing new contracts for Alisson, signing new contracts for Van Dijk, for Andy Robertson, there's more. Henderson, off the top of my head, is them thinking, right, we've got the squad here to win the league. We've got the squad here to win the Champions League. But also, we don't need to go and panic buy, because guess what? We have the best talent in the world coming through our youth ranks. The best talent in the world. Look at the results yesterday. Manchester United make 6 changes, right? Bringing in Sancho at cost £70 million. Bringing in multi millions of pounds. Anthony Martial, £50 million, right? They go out to a West Ham side that was their B team at Old Trafford in front of 71,000, right? Liverpool bring in a teenager at right back from Northern Ireland, bring in a Kane Gordon who's 16, bring in a lad in the midfield as well, bring in a Cameron Kelleher, bring in lads like, Curtis Jones, a product of the academy, and go and beat a Premier League side 3-0 away. Yes, they might have made a few changes, but they still have people like, the Scottish lad that plays in midfield on loan from Chelsea. I just don't. I think what it is, and I said this before losing my rag with half of the fans that disagree with me, I should do what I'm going to do from now on, and that is basically I'm going to just educate fans rather than have a go at them. And I don't mean I'm saying I'm right, but I just think that the proof's in the pudding. The plan, Gary Neville said it. Liverpool's transfer strategy is what everybody is trying to copy. They're trying to emulate. The other clubs are desperately trying to spend until they can get to our level. Are you telling me, because Gary Neville even said this, and I know he's not right on everything, but he does get quite a lot right. We have the best starting 11 in the Premier League. We do. Right, so if you think about that, it's scary, Liverpool's squad now. Scary. The fact that we have, I don't even care. I do care, but I'm not even worried now if we lose a centre back through injury. If we lost Joel Matip, we've got Ibrahima Konate. If we lost Gomez, if we lost Konate, we've got Gomez. We've got Van Dijk. We've got Nat Phillips. We have now. You tell me anywhere in the world a team that has 5 centre backs better than ours. All this fucking bullshit about Varane and Maguire. They can't stop conceding goals, Man United. They're conceding goals every single game. We clean sheet, even resting players and bringing in Gomez and Konate for Norwich. We still kept a clean sheet. This is invalued and instilled in every single player at the club. I'm telling you now, Varane is on a fortune a week at Man United. So's Cristiano Ronaldo. Liverpool can bring in Joe Gomez, Ibrahima Konate, probably on about 80 grand a week at Liverpool. Varane will probably be on about 300. And I'm telling you now, I wouldn't swap Varane for Konate. Konate is 21 years old, 6'4", and built like a brick shit house. So I'm telling you now, right, we have got, I said this in the car to my mate Dave the other day on the way to AFC Liverpool game. I said, you've got Virgil van Dijk who's 30. He'll play for Liverpool for the next 5 years, right? So, can you imagine the influence that Van Dijk will have on Konate, who's 21, for 5 years? So then, when Van Dijk turns 36, you've then got Konate turning 26. You've got a centre back to take Van Dijk's place for the next decade, and FSG got him for 36 million. Harry Maguire cost 80 million pound, and he's a slab-headed piece of shit. There's a video going on Twitter at him at the moment, and you want to see the mistakes. His passing ability. He's literally a fraud centre half. I don't care what anybody says. I would not swap him for Matip. I wouldn't swap him for Konate. I wouldn't swap him for Van Dijk. Clearly, obviously, that's the easy one. I wouldn't swap him for Joe Gomez. I generally wouldn't. Touch and go whether I'd even swap him for Nat Phillips. I think Nat Phillips is a better centre back than him, and I'm not just saying that because he's Man United, because I'll spin it here. Chelsea have got Thiago Silva, who's 36, and then they've got, Aspilicueta getting on a bit. Chelsea's team is to be successful now. Chelsea's team will be successful now. All right, they've got Ziyech. All right, they've got Werner. They've got, a lot of youngsters coming through. But I'm just saying, the defence. You tell me the best centre-backs in the world where they are in Europe right now, and I'm telling you now, they're at Liverpool. They're at Liverpool. Liverpool have the best centre-backs in the world. So if Chelsea want a centre-back now, who are they going to buy? Koulibaly's now 31 years old, right? Varane's gone Manchester United. Konate's gone to Liverpool, but they already have the best centre-back in the world. And Gomez is one of the best in the world. When he is one of the... I reckon Gomez would be in the top 10 centre-backs in the world easily, right? Chiellini and Bonucci are now 30, getting in the late 30s. They can't go and buy the... So what Liverpool are doing, and Klopp is right, when he says it like this, it just makes it so obvious. Why do we need to go out and spend so much money when the best players we already have? So the point is, we have the best centre-backs in the world. I believe we have the best goalkeeper in the world in Alisson. I think we have the best left-back in the world in Robertson. We have the best right-back in the world in Trent. Best central defensive midfielder in the world in Fabinho. One of the best strikers in the world in Salah and Mane and Bobby on his day. I know Bobby's tailing off a bit towards the end. Jota. So, and then you've got the midfield. Thiago's one of the best creative midfielders in the world. And then you've got James Milner. Is there a better player in the world for his experience and be able to swap in at right back, centre midfield, left back? No. So if you look at it, why would you go out and spend 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 million pounds on a player to sit on the bench? Because he's not getting an half starting 11. There's no way getting an half starting 11. You tell me who is going to get in our midfield three when Thiago, Hendo and Fabinho start. Right? You tell me who would be prepared to sit on the bench rather than playing every week. Because that's where if they go somewhere else to play every week. Right? You tell me who's going to get in our front three. And then you tell me who's going to get in at left back. Costas is growing on me now because he's playing and he's playing well. And then you've got lads like Nico Williams at right back. You've got this Northern Irish lad coming through at right back now. So I just look at it like this. Liverpool are in the best shape that I have ever seen us in my three decades of being a fan, right? I've never seen us in the place we are today. We are that good that pre-pandemic we didn't lose at Anfield for 5 years. We are that good that we are joint top of the Premier League after spending 35 million against sides like Chelsea that have spent 200 million, but they spent 250 million the season before. So Chelsea have had to spend 450 million, and in the last 2 summers we've spent 40 million. We spent, I think, 4 million in the season we won the league. So I don't know what more people want, and it is, and it's from what Darren Kent just said there, it is, it's to educate the PlayStation fans, the FIFA fans, because what it is they play them consoles and they want an Mbappe so they can piss on their teammate, they can piss on their mates on FIFA because they've got the best player, one of the best strikers in the world. Fun. I don't give a shit about that. I would rather see Liverpool winning everything. And do you know what? I actually think now we'll get to the final of the League Cup because Manchester United are out, Everton are out. Everton don't go far in it, but you get my point. Man City, for once, have got a Premier League team away. I think it's West Ham away they've got, haven't they? Yeah, so I fancy West Ham to knock them out because I don't think Pep will play his strongest side. It's been easy for Pep to play his strongest teams because most of their games have been at the Etihad against League 1, League 2 sides. But I think I want us to go on and win it, because look what Pep Linders and Klopp have said after that Norwich win. The Carabao Cup is crucial to us because it gives us the opportunity to play the likes of Kane Gordon, play the likes of Origi. Origi can get some game time now in the Carabao Cup. He'll play every game now in the Carabao. That gives him up to 6 games if we get to the final. And that's what we need. We need every player and everyone to absolutely, you know, to just keep playing, keep playing. So staying in all the competitions keeps us match fit, keeps us going. Let's go and try and win the League Cup. Let's go and try and win the FA Cup. And let's go all out for the Premier League. And let's go all out for the Champions League. And what happens is it's a domino effect. You win the Premier League, you then go into the Charity Shield for next year. You win the Champions League, you go into the Super Cup. Trophies just keep coming at you. And you go into the World Club Cup. By winning this, it opens up that, or that, it opens up that. You know, so I look at it like this, right? We have got the stadium about to go to 61,000. We've got the best manager in the world. We've got some of the best kids on the planet coming through our youth team. The new Paul Gascoigne from Newcastle. Newcastle are devastated he's left them. Derby were absolutely fuming that we got Kane Gordon. Rooney went mad about that. Rooney said he was the best player he'd ever seen at that age. Rooney started playing him. I think he made his debut for Derby at 15 in the Championship. We've got Harvey Elliott, to me, the best teenage prodigy on the planet, along with Jude Bellingham, who apparently we're after in the summer. I actually think that had it not been for that stupid Super League crap that FSG did, there would have been a time when Liverpool would have put a statue of John W. Henry outside Anfield for what he's brought to this area. Because I live in this area, I live in Anfield, and I can tell you categorically this, in the 4 years I've lived here, it's changed. Never mind what it was like here in the 80s and early 90s. I've been told of Scousers, it was the most run-down, horriblest estates, one of the worst in Liverpool. FSG have ploughed millions into this area, not just the stadium. You want to see all the new houses that are getting built. They're all 100 grand, 120, 130,000 pounds each for these 2-bed flats. And it says Anfield regeneration. The new Anfield Road end, it's going to have pine trees, it's going to have all cobble streets, it's going to have coffee shops, hotels, it's going to have a big walkway up to it like Wembley has, you know, like Celtic have. You know, the area is going to be one of the best areas in Liverpool after this final phase, because it's going to have 61,000 people coming into it every 3 days or every 7 days. So I'm telling you now, they have done so much for this football club, right? They've brought us from the old Melwood to a state-of-the-art training facility, which will attract the best players in the world. It has a hotel on the complex and everything where the players stay, right? They've then built that incredible main stand that you can see from 10, 15, 20 miles away each way you go in the city, even across the water in the Wirral, right? They're then going to spend now 250. Do you know the Glazers, before their stadium got burgled, there was holes in the roof at Old Trafford leaking water onto fans. There's rusted stands outside the Stretford end. The area was run down with broken glass and beer bottles and everything smashed and everything. And what did Gary Neville say? He said they're leeches. They've completely. I think it was 2009 the last time Glazers have spent any money on Old Trafford. They're now starting to do some redevelopment now, and that's only because they had to, because they got their house burgled or their stadium burgled and fans stopped games happening, so they panicked. Our owners never had to. We didn't have to burgle our stadium for us to make our owners do that. We didn't have to threaten them with that, but they did it. They have turned Anfield into a 44,000 stadium, and by the time it hits 2023, we will be 61,000. We will be world champions, Premier League champions, Super Cup winners, and we've still got 2 seasons until that's done. We could be double league champions, double European Cup winners. Let's not forget we've been to the Europa League final, the Champions League final, you know, as well. We could be sat here now, had, you know, Karius not made them bad mistakes, we could be sat here now on 2 European Cups, a Europa League. You know, if it wasn't, we had 97 points when we took Man City to the World, we could be sat here on 2 Premier Leagues with this module, with this This is why I don't get why I'm having to argue and tell these people that if you are FSG out, you're clearly not seeing what I am seeing right in front of me, right out of the window right now. I've just literally looked at these kids. I've just watched the highlights as well about an hour ago for Norwich, and it's scary what we've got coming through at our club. They were all FSG signings: Harvey Elliott, Ben Clark, Kane Gordon. The list goes on. I bet there's 10 names. Majalski, the Polish striker. I bet there's 10 world-class to-be players coming through our system in the next 2 to 3 years that have all been signed by FSG, because what they do is they spot nuggets, golden nuggets. Andrew Robertson, 8 million, you know, and then they go and get Gini Wijnaldum for 20 million. Look what he won us, you know. Then they go and get people like Mo Salah, 33 million pound. If you sold Salah today at the age of 29, you get 150 million for him. They go and get Sadio Mane for 30 million from Southampton. If you sold Mane today, you get 150, 120 million. And then the list goes on. I mean, how many more do you want me to fucking make? If you sold Fabinho today, what would you get for him? What would you get for Alisson? What would you get for Robertson if you sold him now? I've heard Real Madrid want Trent Alexander-Arnold. You know, it's come through our academy. What would you get for him? I think we had the most valuable squad in the Premier League in 2019-2020. In Europe, sorry, in terms of market value. Listen, that's gone up now. That's gone up. Konate will be market value now 90. If Harry Maguire is worth 80 million, what is Konate worth? That was a minimum fee release clause that we activated. Right? So all I'm saying is, I'm not saying that fans can't have an opinion. But all I'm saying is you're clearly not seeing what I'm seeing, and Klopp's seeing, and FSG is seeing, and Michael Edwards is seeing, you're not. Because if you're thinking that we're going backwards, look at the league table. Look at how many times we've got to finals. Look at how many times we've won the league. Look how many times we've been close to winning the league. Look at the players we have sold for figures that are astronomical. How the fuck did we get 25 million for Ryan Brewster? How the fuck did we get 20 million for Dominic Solanke? You know, we've made millions. We got 10 million for Grujic. You know, it's 15 million for Jordan Stewart. You know, the list goes on. It's Michael Edwards, but FSG brought in Michael Edwards, so they brought in the best sporting director in the world. They brought in the best manager in the world, right? So to me, it's all about, you've got to be able to see the plan. And if you can't see that plan, you're not interested in waiting 2 years for success. I will. You're interested in here and now, and you're interested in bragging to your mates that we've just bought a player for 100 million. Look at Jadon Sancho, 70 million pound. Ollie's just paid for him. He's been absolute dog shit since they've signed him. And then he was on TalkSport this morning saying, "Oh, give him time. He's adapting to a new country." What? He was at Man City's youth team in this country about 15, 20 years of his life. He left Germany to adapt to Germany. He's already been in England. No, he's playing for an absolute PE teacher of a manager. And it just goes to show, £70 million, 89, all this Tielemans bullshit. Tielemans, he has like one good game in every 5. Look how shit Leicester are doing. People wanted us to pay £80 million for him. Where's Tielemans going in our midfield three? Is he replacing Fabinho? Is he replacing Keita at the moment, who's on fire? Is he replacing Henderson? Is he replacing flipping Milner on his day? Is he replacing, you know, Curtis Jones? Is he replacing Thiago? You want us to spend £90 million player on players that might not even get in our team? Of course I'm okay. I'm just talking about the future, Jamie. This video to me is not me saying here we go. You're entitled to whatever you think. You're a Liverpool fan. You're entitled to think whatever you think. But I'm with this frame of mind now that I'm seeing this area right now, Anfield. It's booming. It's booming. We've got Man City next at home, and we've got Brentford away this Saturday night. And I just think to myself, can you imagine after that pandemic and people, you know, we had to win the league in an empty stadium, that that I was there that night, but I would have loved nothing better to have had a parade in 54,000 celebrating with all yous lot. It was so weird to see Liverpool winning the league in an empty stadium after waiting 30 years for it. So what I'm saying to you is, can you imagine if we win the league, right? The wheels are falling off Man City. I really do think they will do. That's like to beat Wickham. Who cares? But I mean, Pep's starting to lose his mind. Their attendances are dropping. They're getting bored, Man City fans now. You know why? Because they're plastic. The hard case Man City fans are following Main Road. They're in a league similar to AFC Liverpool's. A bit like FC United have got their hard case Stretford and we're AFC Liverpool, but we're not anti-Liverpool. But it's a similar story. Main Road are the hard case followers that used to support Man City because they can't stand how plastic that club is anymore. So it's just, I just look at it like that. The future's bright. The stadium's going to get bigger. 61,000 tickets, by the way, at the moment are right easy to get. I've had no problems getting tickets, right? So I look at it like this, right? The stadium's world class, and it's going to be even better thanks to the owners. The training ground's one of the best in the world. The academy is one of the best in the world. The manager's one of the best in the world, and we don't panic buy. We're top of the league by joint top with a team that spent 450 million in the last 2 summer windows, right? We've won our first opening game in the Champions League. We've won our first game in the League Cup with a second B team, right? Get behind the lads, trust in the process, trust in what we are doing. The only mistake they've made is that Super League, but they were one of 6 that did that. Right, he's held his hands up. He was one of the only owners to come out and give an actual video personal apology rather than a proxy letter, right? And I'm telling you now, in 10 years' time, we'll have players coming through. We'll have lads on 100 games like Kane Gordon, like Bobby Clark, and they will be looked back on as masterstroke signings by Klopp, Linders, FSG, Michael Edwards, and the team that is doing their best to make Liverpool what they now are, elite. You'll never walk alone.